Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I am Srishti, and I'll be your host for this session. This webinar is being brought to you in collaboration with PCI Learning Development, and we are excited to have you with us today. Before we begin, a few quick notes. The session is being recorded, and we'll be sharing the recording and highlights with you after the event. Please feel free to post your questions in the Q&A box throughout the session. We have our team addressing them for you, and we'd love to know from where are you guys joining. So please quickly drop a quick hello in the chat and your location as well. So this webinar is basically on AI across the HR lifecycle. Artificial intelligence is reshaping HR like never before, from smarter recruitments to personalized learning and predictive retention. AI is enabling HR leaders to transform how organizations attract, develop, and retain talent. And that's exactly what we'll be exploring today, how AI can be embedded across the HR lifecycle to create a measurable business impact. It's my privilege to introduce our distinguished speaker for today, Dr. Bashar Shawky. Dr. Bashar is a management consultant, leadership trainer, and HR transformation expert with over 20 years of experience across 16 countries. He has delivered 200 plus bilingual training programs, led more than 3,000 training days, and impacted over 100,000 professionals worldwide. He has also driven 100 plus strategic consulting projects, including balanced scorecards, competency framework, and organizational restructuring, while building training departments that achieved up to 65% revenue growth. Widely recognized for his data driven and impact focused approach, Dr. Bashir is passionate about aligning human capital strategies with measurable organizational outcomes. We are delighted to have him here today, in collaboration with PCI Learning and Development, to share his expertise on how AI is transforming HR across recruitment, development, and retention. Dr. Bashir, over to you.
Thank you, Rishti. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this webinar. Today, we will be having a kind of a journey on how AI impacts human resources operations. That's why we call it across the HR life cycle, and transforming recruitment, learning and development, and also retention. So we will be going through this journey and interact together how AI affects and creates impact on the HR operations in general. So let's enjoy it. Let's learn something today. Let's link this important information to our daily work in human resources and AI. As you all know, it's a fact nowadays. It's reality. It's no more future trend. So let's put all efforts to use AI, actually, especially in HR operations. So, yeah, we will be discussing about enhancing human resources through innovative AI applications. Nowadays, there are plus 5,000 AI applications, and they are all active and useful for everybody's work, and especially for HR. So our agenda for today, or for the next hour, we will be introducing AI in human resources in general. We'll be talking about recruitment and revolutionizing recruitment with AI, and this big leap that happened in recruitment and selection using AI applications. We'll be discussing about enhancing employee development and learning. Of course, learning and development is a major task for HR officers or managers or executives. Also, we will be highlighting AI-driven strategies for employee retention. And this is very paramount nowadays to create employee satisfaction and feedbacks and keep the qualified employees in the company. So how would AI affect these HR lifecycle activities? What are the major tools of AI that we can use? What AI applications we will recommend for you? Let's enjoy it together. Introduction to AI in human resources. Of course, as an overview of artificial intelligence or AI in HR, we all know, ladies and gentlemen, AI is so helpful nowadays. It's reality. So it helps us in general in automation of HR processes. AI automates recruitment and employee management to improve efficiency and reduce manual tasks. This is the basic activity, the basic useful tasks that AI can use. For example, AI-powered applicant tracking system that schedule interview automatically, especially for big companies that have more than 1,000 employees. So AI can help in automating HR processes. Also, machine learning applications. When we say machine learning as applications, particularly tools, framework of AI, machine learning algorithms that we will share with you many tools today. Machine learning algorithms help in predictive analytics like workforce planning, talent acquisition for HR department. And this is actually a major role in HR in my experience. How we predict certain activities in HR, especially in workforce, what actually tasks when it comes to KPIs and it comes to job descriptions. Example, predicting turnover risks or identifying high potential employees. You know, turnover seems to be one of the major issues right now in big companies. Like in USA, for example, turnover rates for some government companies is really high. It exceeds 5%. And turnover is creating a gap in companies' operations. That's why some applications of AI can predict some solutions or suggestions or even consulting advice of how we reduce the turnover, and also predicts analytics of what causes the turnover. And turnover rate is a major risk. Also, natural language processing. Of course, when we say NLP is content creator, is how we communicate with the applications. In general, NLP enables automated resume screening, for example, and enhances communication within HR platforms. For example, AI chatbots. How important this is right now as part of HR support, since many organizations now use NLP-driven bots to answer employee queries. So instead of a human communication, we can train certain applications to communicate with the applicants immediately and maybe probably answer all their questions. It depends how we teach the applications of all what concern the jobs and vacancies available in the company. So in general, as an overview, AI is very important in HR operations right now, as it makes work easier and it makes work more smart, and it ensures accurate analysis and also suggests perfect consulting advice. Let me share with you a quick exercise. For example, in your opinion, you might answer in the chat box so we can interact together and get the right solution here. Which AI technology, is it automation, machine learning, or NLP, best applies in these cases? Let me share with you the first case. An HR dashboard predicts which employees are at risk of leaving within the next 6 months. Just would you please answer 1, 2, or 3? Do you think the best technology for AI here applies? Is it automation or machine learning or natural language processing? Yeah, absolutely. We have some answers here. Exactly. It is machine learning applications. Oh, yeah. It is actually MLA. All right. Brilliant. Perfect answers. Absolutely. This is the best application for this case. An HR dashboard predicts employees are at risk of leaving. So turnover analytics, etc. So we need machine learning applications. Okay, one more scenario. How about a chat bot answers employees' questions or queries about the policy in real time? What is the best technology here? Yeah, absolutely. It's NLP. It's a 3. Perfect answers. Brilliant. So yeah, chatbots need to be trained. It is absolutely about how we answer, how we give some solutions, how we give the participants or people who ask regarding their applications or vacancies or follow up with their job queries, etc. So yeah, NLP is the best AI technology here. One more scenario, for example, which is absolutely clear right now. System automatically schedules interviews and sends calendar invites and shortlisted candidates. Yeah, absolutely. So the best, perfect. Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. The best technology here is automation of HR processes. So just imagine, ladies, okay, perfect answers. Thank you for answering. Thank you for interacting. Brilliant. So yeah, this is the, yeah, Adil said ATS. Absolutely brilliant. Perfect. So yeah, so as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, AI technology or platforms or AI tools right now, very important, very paramount in HR operations, in different areas, in recruitment, in learning and development, in operations, in scheduling, interviews, analytics, even chatbots and answering queries of participants, etc. Perfect. The key drivers for AI adoption in HR functions were here. Let's highlight some important key drivers or some important drivers for the AI adoption. For example, AI can improve efficiency, as we all know. AI automates repetitive HR tasks, especially in HR operations. Let me just share something with you here. You all, I believe, either work in human resources or you are applying for human resources work or you are aware of a human resources management operations. As you all know, human resources has many departments. One of them is HR operations. One of them is learning and development, talent management, recruitment. So we have our different departments that aligned with human resources. So definitely when we have big companies, for example, human resources has lots of tasks and they are repetitive. They do the same work. Well, when we apply some AI tools that we will be sharing with you today, it automates the repetitive HR tasks, allowing faster, more efficient operations. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I've seen in big companies, and I'm sure maybe you worked, but I worked in companies that include thousands of people. Well, sometimes if you have certain queries or if you want certain document, Well, to be honest, it takes weeks sometimes to answer if it is a human scheduling or a human uh, uh, designing a certain document or leave. Well, with AI, actually, it is more easier, faster, and you know what? It increases employee satisfaction. We will find this later on. Example, AI-powered onboarding system that complete paperwork automatically. This is very important for HR officers and executives and coordinators. So AI technology can improve efficiency by automating repetitive HR tasks. Also, a very important driver, which is actually a major cornerstone. It's a major matter for HR, reducing bias. You know, ladies and gentlemen, the major concern for HR, it's fairness and diversity, especially in recruitment. AI helps minimize the human bias in recruitment and employee evaluation. So it decreases the subjectivity, increases the objectivity. When we feed up the system or the machine learning with certain requirements, this will create fairness among all applications or among all candidates, plus ensures diversity, and most importantly, reducing and minimizing the bias that might happen. It can reduce biases, but may also inherit biases from training data. So we always need a human judgment. We always need to review. We always need to audit. We always need to feed the system with updated information to make sure it reduces and minimize all the bias that might happen. Also, one of the drivers of AI adoption in HR function is enhancing decision making. This is very important. When to decide and how to decide. I mean, AI applications can help in our decision-making process. AI accelerates data-driven decisions for better HR outcomes. For example, forecasting turnover or identifying skill gaps. This will help us as HR executives to plan, to take decisions, to make sure we are on the right track in terms of HR functions. Also, one of the major drivers is personalized employee experience. Well, when we say personalized, it means it's customized. So AI can help us in segregation, in classifications, in categorization, in actually doing some analysis to each case and group them to create some solutions for certain experiences that might employee have. So actually, AI provides tailored support and engagement for employees. Example, AI-driven learning platforms recommending training modules, or AI chatbots offering tailored HR support. So, in general, AI adoption is no more is a necessity. It's no more like a dream. It's a necessity right now for HR operations. It improves efficiency, reducing bias, helping us in enhancing our decision-making processes, plus creating solutions for personalized employee experience. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very important. However, so it's important to actually adopt AI in HR. However, it's also very necessary, sorry, and very essential to manage our AI applications and platform in HR. Many people ask me through all my experience, 20 years in human resources, Many people ask the major question that we all ask: would AI replace us? Would AI applications take our jobs? Are they going to let us go and use AI instead of us? Well, the answer here is absolutely no. AI needs leadership. AI needs management. No AI application can actually replace a human judgment, can replace human brains. I can assure to you this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm working with these applications for years right now, and human management is necessity, essential. So be sure about it. What we really need to improve is how to use applications in HR. It's not using AI to replace us. So AI applications require management. For example, when we talk about efficiency and insights, AI enhances HR efficiency by automating tasks and providing valuable data-driven insights for decision-making. Here is a very important idea. AI helps, for example, and predicts attrition risk and suggests retention strategies. I want you to notice this word. Predicts, suggests. Is it deciding? Is it a clicking on the button? Is it evaluating the situation or linking or aligning with the culture? Is it does it have elements of subjectivity? As elements of subjectivity is important as well. No, AI can predict for you, can suggest for you, but you know what? You click on the button, you decide, you evaluate, you align. So never depend 100% on AI, even when you are writing an email. That's my suggestion. We always need to review. AI can make mistakes, as what ChatGPT always says. So, yeah, efficiency and insights. It enhances HR efficiency by automating tasks and providing valuable data-driven insights for decision-making. It predicts attrition risks and suggests retention strategies. That's AI tools. But you know, it needs management. You manage it, you decide it. One more actions that really require management by human touches, let's say, by human experience and qualifications. It's integration challenges. Integrating AI with existing legacy systems in HR that can be complex and require careful planning. For example, right now, ladies and gentlemen, mostly in the world, especially in Europe, many HR departments still rely on legacy systems like SAP, Oracle, or older ATS, like I believe Adel mentioned a while ago. The cost factor sometimes is an additional layer of complexity. So these systems, I worked, for example, on a system called Focus for almost like 10 years in my life. They are all systems of HR. However, they don't predict, they don't plan, they don't give suggestions. When you incorporate AI applications with these systems, they can be more efficient, faster, they give better solutions. But be careful, sometimes we face challenges when we incorporate AI applications to these legacy systems. So here where challenges can be, and here where we need management. Also, data privacy and bias. Ensuring data privacy and mitigating AI bias are critical challenges in HR AI implementations. So definitely this is something that requires also management. This is crucial. Data handling in HR involves sensitive personal information, considering compliance with regulations, like, for example, GDPR, UAE data protection law or Qatar PDPL, etc., etc. These are all regulations and compliance systems that we really need to take care of to keep data in a privacy level and understanding bias. So every AI applications or adoption require a human oversight. Human oversight is essential to maintain fairness and ethical standards in AI-driven HR processes. So HR must remain responsible for final hiring decisions to reinforce ethical and fair use. So as we say, AI can make a decision for you, but you know what? You take that decision. So we have decision makers, decision takers. So you make the final decision, sometimes a human oversight because it links to the values of the company, it links to ethics, culture, all important to take the maximum utilization and optimization of AI applications. Ladies and gentlemen, in general, I just want to highlight something here. As we started this slide by saying that AI will never replace a human work, but the human work needs to be qualified using AI. If you are not qualified in managing AI tools, yes, companies might depend on AI tools. So what we need to do here is to improve our capabilities, our qualifications in understanding AI tools, understanding platforms. You know what? Even maybe adapted, maybe updated, maybe adding more to it every day. Well, I can assure to you, every hour, hundreds of applications are in the market, hundreds. So what we need to do is improve our flexibility in dealing with AI tools. Perfect. Having said so as an overview, let's find out what perfect applications can help us in recruitment, how recruitment is actually affected right now by using AI applications and platform. This is also very interesting and very important nowadays. Ladies and gentlemen, automated sourcing and screening for candidates. I mean, look at the word right now. I mean, let's talk humanly now. Look at the word automation. It's always attached and associated with every single task we do. Even if we are normal employees, I am a lecturer, trainer, maybe helping people to develop their competencies and skills, but I can see the word automation in every task I do. Even the doctor right now, you see, they are automating tasks, especially when it comes to the cycle of diagnosing and pharmacy and lab tests, etc. It's the word automation is always associated with many of the work. About 15 years, 20 years ago, we were always, when we talk about HR, we're always saying sourcing and screening, but now it's automated sourcing and screening. Look how AI is actually invading our daily life. Ladies and gentlemen, sourcing and screening has three major benefits and three major actions. Firstly, AI candidate screening, reducing hiring time, lower human workload. Three major benefits, three major activities when we automate sourcing and screening of candidates. For example, when we talk about AI candidate screening, AI tool efficiently scan large applicants pools to identify candidates matching job requirements. So AI in sourcing and screening not only helps HR, but also provides faster responses to applicants. Example, AI screening is more efficient for screening thousands of resumes for technical keywords. Human judgment is critical always for evaluating whether the candidate, for example, career story aligns with the company values or culture, etc., etc. So, automated sourcing and screening for candidates, the first benefit, it's more efficient when you screen thousands and huge numbers of resumes and applications. At the same time, automating sourcing and screening, it is reducing hiring time. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just share with you from my experience, to be honest. I used to recruit for big companies. I worked for Emirates Airlines before, and personally, along with my team, recruited more than 1,700 cabin crew. The traditional way, after advertising the requirements, we used to receive tens of thousands of CVs. Considering the time reviewing a CV, let's say 5 minutes. Now multiply 5 minutes by 10,000 minimum for every job vacancy. Imagine if you have 15 different job vacancies. And then divided by, let's say, 8 hours per day. And we used to have at least about 45 days to find one candidate for one job. So just imagine the huge time and the big time that we were actually using and investing in recruitment. So what we did finally is we dealt with recruitment agencies because we don't have the staff for it. We don't have enough resources. So we used to deal with recruitment agencies to help us and resourcing for us. This is the practice that used to be in most of organizations in the world, especially big organizations. However, there is a new study right now that AI platforms can actually reduce hiring time. Can you guess? Let me ask you this question as a matter of research. In your opinion, if you have 1,000 resumes and you want to check them, it might take about, let's say, 5,000 or 10,000 minutes. And this is about 18 days. In your opinion, if we use AI applications or platforms, how much time we require to screen and source 1,000 resumes, or what is the percentage of reducing hiring time, in your opinion? Up to what percentage? Oh, Paul said 70%. Brilliant. After using AI platform or a certain AI application, how much this will affect screening and outsourcing 1,000 resumes? Well, Adil said 90%. Perfect. Well, actually, I love your numbers, gentlemen, because actually you are, I thought you might say 20%, 30%, but actually it is a big percentage. It is really big numbers. As per researchers, yeah, I think Muhammad said also 90%. Well, that's brilliant. Well, actually, I mean, Steffi said 60%. All right. Well, actually, as per the study that had been done last year, the time of screening using AI tools is up to 75%. Can reduce the screening time. Just imagine if we have big companies, for example, Emirates Airlines or ADNOC or General Motors, for example, or even a huge organizations like Microsoft or etc. I mean, NASA, for example, in USA, they started using, I mean, I want to give you piece of information. NASA has about 40,000 employees. How many people work on recruitment? 40,000 employees. Just imagine the number. 40,000 employees. People used to work on recruitment. There were 200 people. 200 people only to recruit engineers, interviewing them, scanning their resumes and applications, use reference calls, you know, these tactics of recruitment. Giving them some forms to fill, checking the form. Even when they start using systems, this did not affect the number of resources and staff. Like, for example, they are using Oracle in NASA. Well, this did not actually affect the number of resources they require in recruitment. So what they are doing right now is adopting AI tools to help in scanning and screening. And you know what? The number of people reduced, yes. But they recruited more people to manage the AI tools they are using. Instead of recruiting one person per month, they are scanning resumes and they are making interviews for even 100 people per month. This is NASA researchers. So just imagine the time that is invested here if we are adapting AI tools. Of course, lower human workload. I mean, people instead of screening and instead of sourcing and instead of doing applications, they might do something else. They might create strategies, they might link to culture, they might update policies, they might work on compliance, etc. Lower human workload. Automated screening reduces human effort and bias in early recruitment stages. So, for example, AI reduces administrative load. So HR can focus on strategic tasks. We are not going to let go the staff. We really need AI to help us so HR staff can do other tasks like strategic engagement, interviews. AI can help in the flow. For example, AI scan applicants, faster shortlists, recruiters focus on higher value tasks, candidates get quicker feedback. All of these actually help in HR operations by using certain AI tools. So yeah, in recruitment, sourcing and screening actually is a paramount task in recruitment in human resources. With AI, it made this work so easier and more efficient. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to share with you the top tools and the platform for AI in terms of recruitment. You might take a screenshot of this if you would love to. These are very powerful. I want to highlight some of them. For example, look at this tool, Pre-Screen AI. To be honest, I'm using higher view right now. It's very powerful, very strong. Pre-Screen AI. This is very, very useful because it's conversational AI for smarter hiring, automates initial interviews, pre-qualifications. Of course, it helps us reducing time, workload, improve the screening, automates early filtering of applicants. So, and also Higher View is actually supporting AI video interviews, creating assessments, scoring, ranking, speed up interviews. These are very useful for you. These are the top tools right now used for recruitment, used for AI applications right now. For example, Recruit T, the second last one here. ATS, candidate sourcing, reporting, automated email workflows. Some AI enables features. So all of these are features can help in improving our efficiency in human resources, reducing the time. At the same time, it's lowering the human workload. Hope you enjoy these. These are very powerful for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, AI-powered assessment and unbiased selection. As we said a while ago, one of the major concerns of HR is bias. It's like, diversity, fairness. So we need to be fair with every applicant. So AI-driven assessments provide a consistent and objective method to evaluate candidates uniformly. AI assessments create consistency by removing subjective differences between recruiters, especially in large organizations where multiple managers are involved in hiring. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, as we said an example about NASA a while ago. For example, in Emirates Airlines, where we have about 40 people working in recruitment. Just imagine each one has the authority and has some tasks to choose, to select, to take a decision for a certain candidate. When we have multiple managers are involved in selection and recruitment, when we use certain unbiased AI tool and platform, it unifies. It creates a kind of a standard in evaluation. And this is very crucial, I believe, in especially big companies, especially when you recruit, for example, 500 engineers, or in big hospitals where you really need hundreds of doctors. For example, they are very, very good tools to do this. As I use Higher View, for example, or Pymetrics. So there is a reduction of unconscious bias. It minimizes unconscious bias by focusing on objective selection criteria rather than subjective, especially when you have multiple managers. AI reduces bias and introduces others if not carefully managed. So as we said, we really need always to manage the AI framework. We don't leave it. We need a human management. We need the qualifications. We don't only leave the AI to work alone. Because technical-wise, especially in the creating algorithms, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes we reduce the bias, but we introduce other bias factors. So we always need to manage to reduce these. There are some elements in these AI applications or AI platforms that we use to help us in reducing unconscious bias sometimes. Also, merit-based hiring focus. AI prioritizes merit and qualifications rather than we really go through them manually, ensuring fair and transparent candidate selection, etc. So yeah, in general, AI-powered assessments and unbiased selection is really very important and cornerstone of recruitment. And we really need to take care of it, especially when we use certain platform like Pymetrics or HireVue, etc. All right. Let me ask you a quick question here, ladies and gentlemen. Which is fairer? I will share with you 3 situations so we can interact, and probably we can discuss about this. So I will share with you 3 situations where AI is used in candidate selection. Please type in the chat whether you think AI makes this process fairer or riskier, or it might be the same kind of effect compared to traditional human method. So for example, resume screening. AI scans resumes and ranks candidates based on job description, keywords. Do you think using AI makes it fair, or it's the same effect, or it's risky, in your opinion? Oh yeah, we have some. Absolutely fairer. Thank you for replying. Absolutely, 100%. It is fair. It reduces unconscious bias. Brilliant. How about this, in your opinion? Think about it for a second. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling very well today. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how about this task in human resources? A skill-based assessment, assessing certain. Oh, thank you, Paul. Yeah, well, Adel said maybe R, it is riskier. Paul said R. Well, to be honest here, if you are going to judge, in my opinion, yeah, Muhammad said risky. Yeah. Well, to be honest, a skill-based assessment. Steffi said are risky. All right. Well, let's think about it this way. Skill-based assessments, like you want to, for example, assess coding, language skills, problem solving. Just imagine using AI platform in screening these skills can be a little bit risky. But also, if you really feed the system with certain instructions, it might help. But the human judgment here is also important. In my opinion, if you want to evaluate the language skills or problem solving or coding skills for programmers, well, in our opinion, it's almost the same kind of evaluation here. It might be a little bit risky to use AI, so human judgment is very important. But still, AI, if it's instructed well, it can give you somehow the same result. However, look at this. Video interview analysis. Thank you, Muhammad. For example, yeah, some people said, Steffi said risky. Nidu said fair. Well, to be honest, yeah, Rangana said risky. Well, yeah, it is risky. Well, Lena Maris said risky. Lena said fair. Well, yeah, let's think about it this way. Facial expressions, tone of voice, word choice. Do you think something has to do with the culture, with the value? Sometimes it's, yeah, in our opinion, it's a little bit risky to use AI here. So use a human judgment if you want to link and align with companies' values, for example, or companies' culture, especially facial expressions. AI can help, but can help scientifically. There is something beyond science, ladies and gentlemen. Adil said that's human touch. Yes, exactly. Something beyond science. There is something has to do with the values. You know, AI can standardize every single action of um, in some video interview, can analyze, like we have sometimes called I value. However, it's still a human tradition method works good here. Olga, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read every comment. Olga said fair, same, and yes. Can evaluate sentiments. Absolutely, Paul, 100%. Need to say there is absolutely, it's a little bit more risky. There is something beyond science always. All right, perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, actually, we need to speed up a little bit, but I want to cover the maximum as I can for you here. All right. Enhancing candidate experience through chatbots. Of course, instant query responses. Chatbots always important because this improves satisfaction, reduces applications, black hole frustration. How many times in our experience, ladies and gentlemen, we were frustrated in getting a response from a company we applied? Chatbots here can help the company improve their brand by answering, by communicating with the applicants. But we need to train the chatbot. Interview schedule, for example, is also one of the biggest bottlenecks in hiring. Chatbots that sync with calendars can save recruiters, etc. Real-time updates, for example, transparency keeps candidates engaged. So in general, chatbots is very important. Now, every company started using chatbots right now. But remember, they need to be trained very well. All right. Let's just move to how AI and what AI tools and applications can help in development and learning, in generally in improving skills and competency. I have a good exercise for you here. Personalized training and skill development with AI. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just share with you something very interesting. You know, in human resources in general, when we talk about recruitment and we talk about learning and development, and we talk about HR operations, the major concern for recruitment is bias. And AI can help us in this. That's a concern. Subjective analysis and subjective selection. The major concern for HR operations is the repetitive tasks. And AI can help us in automation here. The major concern for learning and development is actually giving the same or delivering the same program on the roof material for many people of different levels. That's one of the major concerns in learning and development. Some companies, they have list of programs and they deliver it to all people in the organizations, which is a big fault in my opinion. It needs to be customized as per their competency levels, as per their skills, as per their requirements. Should be customized, should be tailored should be personalized. We don't deliver one program to many people. AI can help us here. Big deal. That's why we call it personalized learning. That's a major concern, ladies and gentlemen. AI-driven skill analysis, AI algorithms assess individual skills and identify learning needs and tailor training effectively. I'm going to share with you an important tool today for this. So we need to identify gaps to tailor training and deliver the right program. Customized learning programs, personalized learning paths, deliver relevant content matching employee preferences and goals. Employees at different level. I've seen some companies deliver communication skills to all levels. Well, communication has level 1, level 2, level 10 maybe. Customize the content, what actually we really need to deliver. There are many AI tools here. We would love to recommend TNAS. TNAS is Training Needs Analysis System, one of the biggest and the major tools nowadays in the world in actually customizing learning programs. Continuous skill enhancement. Ongoing training ensures continuous improvement and development, career growth opportunities as well. So in general, AI is very important for learning and development. One of my colleagues in one of the companies asked me that, why do we need AI in training? We just list the programs that are required. I ask the managers over the phone, list the programs, send them to vendors. Vendors come and deliver training. Come on, hold on. It's not this way. You can't deliver programs randomly. We need to identify what actually is required. Quick example. When you deliver communication skills, I mean, when we say communication, when we say reporting, writing, listening, asking questions, negotiating, interviewing, different body language. So it's not one skill, it's a group, it's a set of skills. What actually in communications you want to focus on? Well, if you are training call center, different from when you are training customer service in banks, different from when you are delivering communication for doctors or for lab assistants, etc., etc. Well, AI tools here like TNAS can help you in identifying the required skill. What do you need to focus on? You can't just send people to communication. Maybe you might call it listening skills programs, etc. All right. Here are some perfect learning platforms. As I shared with you for recruitment, like HireVue or Recruitee, here are also some platforms for your references. You might take a screenshot or capture this slide. Look at these. They are all AI-powered recommendations. I just want to go through them just quickly, not explaining them. Yeah, I mean, EDCast by Cornerstone. This is also very good one because it tailors the training as per specific needs. Udemy Business. This is also one of the great machine learning tool. It helps in skill gap analysis as well and identify training needs. These are some AI platforms that really help in skill development and, most importantly, customized training and personalized for employees. Let me give you a quick exercise. This is, in my opinion, a very well done exercise for you. Enjoy it. For example, I want you to think about it, especially for people. This is for experienced people. Below, are the key steps followed in TNAS, one of the AI tools in training needs analysis? In your opinion, arrange them in the correct sequence from 1 to 6. You might share in the chat box the order. For example, 2, 6, 3, 1, 5. It's up to you. What do you think comes first? What do you think comes next? What do you think comes last? 1 to 6. In training needs analysis tool, AI tool, what do you think this tool does? In your opinion, what comes first in AI? When we say skill development, personalized training, all right, let's analyze it here. What do you think we do first in training needs analysis? What do you think the tool does first? Yeah, Lina said competency framework. Absolutely. We need to identify the competencies first. What do you think comes next? You might share only the number. Adil said 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. All right, Adil. Olga said 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 1, 2, 1, 5, and 2. All right. Perfect. Steffi said 4. What do you mean by 4? Is it 4 as the first step? Lina said we start 5 first, then 1. Oh yeah. 5, 1, 6, 4, 6, then 4. Skill assessment comes 4, 3, 2. All right. Olga said 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, and then 3, and then 1, 5, 2. Okay, brilliant. Well, you know, I like your answers actually. Your answers make sense. Let me share with you how AI thinks, ladies and gentlemen. AI first. All right. All your answers are very impressive. We are looking at it from a human point of view, human perspective. AI thinks about it in a different way. AI tools like TNAS, for example, they think about it in a different way. They say, firstly, well, you need to identify your competencies. What's your competency framework? As many of you said. Absolutely. What are the required competencies in the organizations with their levels, with their KPIs? Then, from these competencies, we need to create what we call a skill assessment. So the AI tools like TNAS, for example, creates a skill assessment out of these competencies. So employees can measure and evaluate and rate and score their skills or their competences levels by certain assessment. It's also an AI generated assessment. What AI tool requires after this is asking HR, manager, and employee how important each competency to their work. I mean, this is the idea. That's why we call it personalized. For example, let's say time and stress management as a competency. Well, for some jobs, for some positions, it's number 1 in priority. It's 5 out of 5 important. For some other jobs, like design, for example, let's say, or creative minds, It's not number one priority. It's maybe 3 out of 5 in importance. Very important to do some algorithms between HR, manager, and employee of how they rate the importance of every competency. Then the AI tool rates the performance of every competency. This is how the AI works, scientific approach. This is one of the platform. Of course, we take the rating from HR, we take rating from the manager, we take the rating from the employee. It's all system-wise. And by the way, the system doesn't take the average, by the way. The system does certain algorithms. For example, I'm just sharing you an example because I worked in designing one of the AI tools here. Just an example. In performance, well, manager has 60% weight of the score they give. The weight of the HR is less. The weight of employee is different. And the system does certain algorithms here to put all of these together to come up with a final score. It's not average at all. Then the system does what we call IPA. IPA is importance performance analysis, skill gap analysis, to come up with a tailored training plan. This, if we want to do it as traditional method, it might take time. It might consume lots of efforts. And you know what? We need many employees to do this. I mean, what I mean by many is like for every employee, for every 100 employees, we need at least 20 work on this process. With AI, you need only 5 managing the AI tool and just collecting the information, feeding the system. Even you might send the application link to the managers and they fill the forms. So it's a process. This is how AI thinks. Scientific approach, conceptual science approach, and giving you the final result. And then you take decisions as a human. So ladies and gentlemen, in general, AI is very important. In recruitment, we discuss about it and we shared with you some tools. In training, also there are many tools. In performance management, in career, in succession planning, it is very important as well. Let me ask you a quick question for people who are expert. What is the major tool? What is the major technique we use in succession planning? What is the best technique that is known all over the world before AI, and now it is an AI tool by the same name? Do you have an idea? Succession planning. It's a very famous AI tool. Shadowing the experienced people. Oh, who said $9? Steffi, brilliant, good job. $9 grid, yes. Atif Tufail. Well, I don't know. I haven't heard of this tool before. Learning agility, Olga said. Well, actually, it is $9 grid. To be honest, $9 grid is one of the top. Good job, Steffi. One of the best technique or best tool for succession planning. And it's right now an AI tool. Well done. Well, you know, I recently knew that they made it an AI tool. I worked long years ago in succession planning, but just recently I knew it is an AI platform. So yeah, performance management. Let's go through these quickly a little bit. So in performance management and career pathing, so AI can help in every mechanism, let's say, and instant feedback as well. employee capability analysis, career pathing, and succession planning. Example, $9 grid. This is one of the top tools to identify succession planning. Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick interactive exercise together. Reference AI-powered performance platforms. These are some of the top platforms as well for performance management. Let's say BetterWorks, Lattice, and Success Factors. In your opinion, what is the logical order in performance management, career pathing, and succession planning? How does AI, or how do AI tools think about it? What comes first to what comes last? So we have capability analysis, instant feedback, tracking performance, succession planning, or career paths. In your opinion, how would AI platforms and tools think about it? What comes first in terms of performance management? Also, you might share like 3, 4, 1, 5, 2, for example. Say 5 comes first. Tracking performance comes first. Atif said, correct. Yeah, sorry again. Lena said capability analysis comes first. Atif said what comes next is instant feedback. All right. Also, Maris or Maria? I think Maris. Okay. Said 1, 3, 5, 4. 1, 3, 5, 4. Okay, Maris. All right. Well, actually, I like your answers again. I mean, let's say Mahmoud. Yeah, Mahmoud said 3 comes first, tracking performance, then 5, then 1, 2, and then 4. Makes sense, Mahmoud. Makes sense. However, I think, Mahmoud, I believe career path can be a little bit later. Maybe 4th step. Said 5 comes first. Well, career growth or career path might be a later stage. Then 1, 2, 3, and 4. Brilliant. Lena said capability analysis first, tracking performance, instant feedback, career path, succession planning. Okay, makes also perfect sense. I like your answers, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sharing your answers. It's all perfect to me. All right, let me share this with you, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. This is how AI tools think about it. This is how the progression, this is how the work, this is how the process, the scientific approach. Look at this. Of course, AI tools like BetterWorks. I mean, consider these tools that we are sharing with you today, because they are top tools in the market, to be honest. Some of them are not free, I mean, you can use it for, I think, 10 days free, but it is paid, most of them, but they are really powerful in terms of HR. These tools in performance management work Like, we really need always to start with the tracking performance. Let's track the performance. Atif said, are you going to share? I'm sorry, yeah. I believe yes, Atif. I think my colleagues will answer you here. Let's track this is how AI applications work. We track performance first, and then we keep giving instant feedback. How do we give feedback if we don't track the performance? So we really need to understand the performance first, tracking performance, how it should be against the competencies and against KPIs, tasks and skills. And then we use instant feedback and give feedback. Then we do capability analysis. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, when we say capability here, it's not only the skill, it's also the will, by the way, skill and will. There's something in the human resources as well. And then we create the path, and then we plan for succession. These tools work in this progress, but we need to feed it, instruct the system. But perfect answers, thank you. Brilliant. Tracking performance to succession planning. This is performance management in general. So tracking, feedback, capability analysis, career path, succession planning. Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, the last part of this webinar, I think we took more time than the assigned time. But the last part, just quickly, I want to highlight the retention here. Of course, when we talk about retention, when we talk about AI, what AI tools can help in creating strategies, in designing strategies for retention and taking care of the employees. All right. Predictive analytics for turnover risk. I mean, just remember, turnover is one of the concerns of HR, as we explained before, and estimating the turnover is, and finding strategies through AI tools and solutions for turnover is very important. Of course, this is also an example of IBM Watson reportedly predicted employee attrition with 95% accuracy, helping HR proactively return top talents. So just imagine how AI tools can help even in identifying predict analysis and analytics for turnover, finding some suggestions, and you know what? It helps us in solutions and reducing. By the way, what is the red flag for turnover? That's a quick question here. What's the red flag for turnover? For example, let's say turnover is 10%. How would you describe this company? In my opinion, it's at a big risk. But what is the percentage that you think it might be okay as a turnover? I don't believe there is a company with zero turnover. Yeah, Mari said poor management 10%. Absolutely. 100%. What do you think the acceptable? Yeah, it varies from industry to industry. Correct, Atif. What do you think the acceptable turnover rate? In IT industry, 18-20%. Wow. Turnover 18-20%. So huge. Just imagine in a hospital, I believe it should not increase. It should not reach 2%. When people are used to certain doctors and the doctors keep changing, it's very risky. In retail, 10-15%, Steffi is saying. 10-15% in retail. Oh, Mary said 3% for 3-year-old company. All right. 5%, Olga said, maybe, but it depends of many factors, including country, environments. Correct? I agree. Well, ladies and gentlemen, according to my researches, I even wrote a research paper in one of the universities regarding turnover because, to be honest, it's one of the major concerns. Just imagine turnover is a big drop for companies because sometimes we take long time to recruit and we invest lots of resources like time, efforts, and finally we have a high turnover rate. Actually, we suffered from this in Emirates Airlines because we took, old times, we used to take lots of time recruiting cabin crew and pilots in Emirates Airlines. And just imagine the turnover is above 7%. That's a big failure, ladies and gentlemen, because actually we don't only lose resources or talents, we actually lost money and efforts because we spent lots of time recruiting these people. Ladies and gentlemen, from my researches, I wrote a research paper on turnover, particularly turnover risks. From my researches, if the turnover risk is above 4.8%, the company is at risk. Let me write it for you. 4.8% maximum. If the turnover rate is above or reach above 4.8%, the company is at risk. The company is losing. Yes, absolutely, Paul. The maximum turnover should be 4.8. This is for many companies, for different industries. Of course, as some of you said today, that it's different from industry to industry. Absolutely. Like Atif said, it varies from industry to industry. I agree. However, above 4.8%, the company needs to evaluate its operations, ladies and gentlemen. The company needs to evaluate management and leadership actions. It is risky. So that's why using some AI platforms can predict, can advise, can actually share some causes and effects and solutions to turnover. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about retention, we really need to highlight this important word, engagement. Engagement is an important and a big concern in human resources. Remember this word, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, when we say, let me share this with you quickly. When we say engagement, we have three major situations here. Employees are engaged, employees are disengaged, but don't harm the company. Employees are disengaged and harm the company. So we have three situations in organizations. Employees that are engaged, it means a skill and will. Employees that are disengaged but do not harm. And employees that are engaged are disengaged and harm. Of course, there are percentages here. And this is a study in different universities. And every country, for example, in China, the engagement is 84% in most of the organization as a rate. In some countries, the engagement is less than 50%. Disengagement is high. Of course, there are many reasons to it, but actually it's very risky and it's very useful to understand how engagement works. AI can help us not only in understanding turnover and predicting and analyzing turnover, it's also analyzing engagement strategies. Remember, there is percentage of people in Middle East, it's up to 20%, to be honest, that people are disengaged and harm the company. So just remember this. It's very important to highlight this word. Ladies and gentlemen, AI can do surveys, gather data, highlights feedback, collecting, sentiment analysis. I think Paul said sentiment today, subjective. When it comes to video interviews, absolutely human. Analysis, identify employees, trends and moral trends, interpreting emotion, tone, etc., etc. This is very important to use AI for engagement rates. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I mean, these are not only ideas. What we are sharing with you today is, yes, it's an overview, not details, but they are not ideas. These are strategies. Please take care of turnover. Use AI tools for it. Please take care of engagement. Use AI tools for it. Please take care of succession planning. Please take care of performance. Okay, we have some comments in chat box here. It's worth reading them. We can control turnover when IT professionals like software engineers leave Pakistan. Pakistan companies do not pay in dollars. We cannot replicate working environments of US, Europe, Middle East, even pay packages in dollars, Euro and Riyal and Pakistan. All right. Go what you mean, Atif. Go what you mean. People are actively disengaged in companies when psychological safety is missing and they cannot say what actually they are in their hearts. Well, I agree 100%. It depends from industry to industry. I love your comments, Atif. Thank you for sharing this. Absolutely. Well, there are many reasons for disengagement and many reasons for turnover. Many reasons. Psychological safety and inclusivity is paramount now in KSA. I mean, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Yeah, correct, Paul. Absolutely. Psychological safety and sometimes emotional intelligence. Many reasons. Atif said, Bashar Shawky. Oh, that's my name. You are successful in engaging us. Oh, thank you, Atif. Love this. Thanks for this personal, emotional touch, my friend. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I love your comments, to be honest. I love what you're sharing. It's absolutely very important. These are really strategies. Okay, we have one more. Olga said, I know companies with low turnover and low engagement with people who do not harm the company, kind of silent and quiet. Correct. Thank you, Olga. Thank you for sharing this. Yeah. To be honest, as I said, I mean, some employees are disengaged but don't harm, you know. Low turnover, low engagement. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing this. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, in general, remember in human resources, if we are really interested in improving your AI techniques and AI activities and the skills and competences in HR, we really need to take these words today into highly consideration. Turnover, engagement, very important. Yeah, here are some tools if you want. Retention, absolutely, Paul. Look at these tools, ladies and gentlemen. As I shared with you some tools in recruitment, I shared with you some AI tools in training. Here are some AI tools for engagement. Sharing feedback, instant feedback. Pecan is good one. Worldwide. Lattice also, it's very important. It's very nice. All right. Let me ask you a quick question. Quick question. If you have access to an AI-powered engagement platform like these ones above, what one question would you wanted to answer about your team or organization? In your opinion, if you have one of these AI tools and you feed these platforms with instructions and information to help you analyze engagement, what would you ask these platform one question about your team? What might be your question? You know, let me answer this. Okay. Satisfaction rating. Absolutely, Maris. This is a good question. Yeah. What's the satisfaction rating of my employee? 100%. How would that help you for? If we understand that satisfaction rating of employee or employee satisfaction rate can help us in analyzing engagement and maybe draw some strategies and maybe some processes to improve the engagement. Sayed said, how may I improve my organization? Absolutely, Sayed. I love your question. 100%. These questions can be answered very well through these tools, ladies and gentlemen. Use Beacon latest. I mean, they are very, very important. You know, yeah, Atif said, all the tools of AI have been used, but still engagement is missing. AI tools can help only when key decision makers are ready to accept the findings of AI tools about it. Correct. I like your comment, Atif, yeah. Sometimes we do lots of analysis, still some decision makers are reluctant to change. Olga said, what really matters for people, be more engaged and more productive. Absolutely. Correct, Olga. I like this word, productive. It's always associated with engagement. Brilliant. Paul said, the engagement platform can act as a company-wide internal survey. Absolutely. Correct. It collects information, collects data. Yeah, absolutely. I like what you said. Here are some questions I might share of what I might ask these platforms. For example, which teams are at highest risk or burnout? Are employees feeling fairly recognized? What drives motivation in our remote workforce, for example? So these questions can help or AI can help you in answering these questions, so you can evaluate the engagement, evaluate the that satisfaction. I think as satisfaction, as Maris said, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, correct. And then we can assign some solutions. Brilliant. I mean, you see lots of discussions here, but take these tools into consideration today, ladies and gentlemen. They're really useful. I haven't tried all of them, but most of them. Of course, continuous feedback as well. This one also 15.5, one of the good tools to collect feedback. Transparency and recognition also helps in satisfaction, as Mary said a while ago. So in general, ladies and gentlemen, in general, just a quick conclusion. AI in human resources helps us in recruitment. AI in recruitment, it improves recruitment, streamlining candidate selection, enhancing hiring efficiency. It helps us in employee development, personalized training. One of the top, okay, that's a quick question. What's the top tool, AI tool for personalizing training? Good question. What do you remember? The perfect tool for personalizing training. Do you remember that tool, that AI tool? Tailoring training. You remember the exercise I shared with you? I mean, competency, skill, assessment, rating importance, rating performance, IPA model, tailored training plan. Do you remember this tool for personalized training? It's called TNAS. TNAS. It's one of the top AI tools that yeah, Maris, absolutely. I always use. Thank you for sharing. Also, Atif, yeah, TNAS. Atif said right here. Yeah, all right, Atif. It's TNAS, Training Needs Analysis System. I wrote it for you, my brother. All right. So AI also helps in retention strategies, especially in engagement, which is very important. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, in general, AI is very important in HR, in recruitment, in training and development, in compensation and benefits, even in operations and in retention. Remember the words we shared today. Remember turnover, remember engagement, remember training needs analysis, competencies, sourcing, selection. Remember the tools, use them, enjoy them, learn more techniques about them. They will help you in your HR and developing your HR career. Thank you for listening. You were really interactive. Fantastic joining today. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Thank you, Dr. Bashar. Thank you for those powerful insights. We'll now just quickly take the questions from our audiences. Anybody who has any questions or doubts can drop in their questions in the Q&A box. Meanwhile, I do have a few questions already, so we'll just quickly go through them. The first one we have, Dr. Bashar, is can AI help in psychometric assessments and what are the some assessments to use?
Thank you for asking this question. Absolutely. 100%. I mean, when we say psychometric assessment, here we really need to differentiate between psychometric assessment and the skill assessment. When we say skill assessment, it's assessing the major skills that are derived from the competency framework. However, when we say psychometric assessments, it's assessing how we behave, how we think, how we decide. It's not a skill, it's more than a will. When we say, are there top, yeah, I can recall for you some top AI models for psychometric. One of them is MAPS, MAPS. Can I write it for you if you want on chat box for psychometric? MAPS. Also, Big Five. It's used by NASA. You know, I told you NASA today because I made many researches about NASA. Big Five. I don't know if you know Big Five. It's ocean, openness, conscientiousness, adaptation, extraversion, and also neuroticism. There is also DISC. It's one of the top psychometric assessments to measure pulse 360. Correct. Good job. Absolutely. Atif said from heart, he's landing in our heart. Hats off to you. Oh, thank you, Atif. Thank you, brother. Appreciate your message. Thank you. So, yeah. So back to your question, Priya. I don't know. Is it Priya asking? Or T?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely AI can help psychometric assessments, and the perfect tools are MAPS, Big Five. They are fantastic tools, AI tools, and can, by the way, generate detailed reports. You know, but there are certain questions to ask. And by the way, let me add something for you. I mean, over the net, there are many and many hundreds of psychometric assessments. But you know what? When you do psychometric assessment, do it from a recognized source, an authenticated source, because authenticated source, they do certain algorithms like percentile, like certain norms, certain kind of estimations. They call it standardization. So it's very important to take the score from an authenticated source. For example, Holland Occupational Code, HOC. I don't know if you've heard about this. HOC, let me write it for you on chat box. HOC, Holland Occupational Code, one of the very well-known AI assessment in psychometric. Well, many assessments over the net about HOC, Holland Occupational Code, but they are not standardized. I mean, the percentage is not estimated in a correct algorithm. So I always advise, when you do psychometric, do it from an authenticated resource. That's my advice.
Great, great, Bashar. Next we have is, can we use AI for training needs analysis, and is it really effective?
Of course. I think just to get it short, we talked a lot about this, especially TNAS as a platform. It's very well known and very well recognized, and it helps in training needs analysis because why we do training needs analysis? To create tailored training plan at the end of the day. Correct? So we do personalized training, customized training. That's why we do training needs analysis. So definitely AI helps, big deal, training needs analysis process.
Great. The last question that we have here is, how can we estimate the percentage of turnover? And is there a way to estimate the percentage of work rotations?
All right. Turnover percentage is very well known. It's the way we estimate it is the number of employees who are working in an organization divided by the number of employees are resigning every year times 100. That's the percentage of turnover. So who are working? So it's a percentage. However, turnover is different. I mean, not turnover. I mean, the job rotation is different. Job rotation means that people are rotated to different positions and different workplaces in the same industry, in the same company. So they gain extra technical skills in case of any emergency. We call it job rotation. I mean, job rotation has also a percentage. Job rotation, there are certain platforms, like Latest, for example, can help us in this. I mean, there are certain AI platform for it. You assign certain specifications for every job and the qualifications of your employees, and AI can help you how to rotate, what to rotate in a yearly basis plan. How we estimate it is then, it's like by a percentage. How many people should be rotated this year against how many people that have been rotated times 100. Did you get it?
Yeah.
How many people that need to be rotated, need to be divided, how many people that have been rotated? You know what I mean? Times 100. You get a percentage of what we call it rotation percentage. That's HR tactics, by the way. And more rotation percentage. Sometimes your rotation percentage is 70%, 80%, 50%. Well, when it is above 80%, it means you are applying the plan of rotation that AI tool shared with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is, of course, we really need to differentiate between turnover rate, job rotation rate. And these are two very important in performance management.
Understood.
Does that answer your question?
Absolutely, Bashar. I think with that, we have a lot of insights and we are done with the question answers as well. I would like to thank you on behalf of AI Certs and PCI Learning and Development. We are very thankful to you for sharing your invaluable perspectives on AI role in HR transformation. And I would also like to give a big thank you as well to all the people who has joined us for today for this incredible webinar that we just had. We'll be sharing the recording and key takeaways with you shortly. Please stay connected with AI Certs and PCI Learning and Development for more such webinars in the future. You can connect with us on our LinkedIn and other channels for updates as well. Have a great day. Thank you, Bashir. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everyone, joining for us today.
Thank you, team. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hope to see you in next webinars. Enjoy, use AI for HR, and gain more skills on this. This is the future. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining. Thank you.